Not to save anything this season. This season's already a wash. Are we on watch of Bubba Ventrone right now?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So you had brought up, I had to answer you because you had said, what a shot across the bow can do. And my approach to that is much more fatalistic than what a lot of people think. Like, I got a lot of people who are agreeing with you, and I don't even think that you're wrong. I think that we've already seen what the staff is or what they are now, and I don't think that anything's going to change. In fact, I would probably feel even worse about the staff than I would. Because let me ask you, because you brought this up. You go, well, a shot across the bow. If somebody gets let go, we hold people accountable here. The time to hold people accountable was years ago. Now to hold people accountable now, that's not going to get much. And second of all, like Cleveland Pound brings up, like, hey, he agrees with you. Change can fire up a team. He says we're stagnant. Yeah, you're pretty stagnant right now. But if they were to let go of Bubba Ventrone, say like, hey, you know what, this isn't acceptable. We got to let this guy go. And then all of a sudden I see those many guys that much more lasered in. I go, I don't even know if I can trust any of you. I mean, this is supposed to be a competitive business. This is supposed to be, there's winners and there's losers. And if you are one of the losers that week, you're doing everything you possibly can to become one of those winners. And if you're not doing everything you possibly can, which is what you're paid handsomely to do, I'm going to find other people who are willing to pay the price to be better. Because if all of a sudden, hey, we've let go of Bubba Ventrone, and everybody just starts working their asses to the bone, well, wait a minute, where were you guys at the beginning of the year when we actually had hope? Well, I can't say hope, but at least there was some like, okay, maybe we can roll it. Maybe we can do this. Where was any of that? So I got to tell you, Tone, I disagree with you. I wouldn't even trust them even more. If all of a sudden I think this is who they are. I think this is who they are. It's a not great roster. It's not great a setup. It's not a great situation for any young quarterback to be in, whether it be Shedeur Sanders, whether it be Cam Ward, doesn't matter. It's not a great situation at all. And I think it's led to this moment of where, what do you do in January? Do you move on? More than likely you move on because it seems that it's untenable and nobody wants to be in the situation anymore. And that's probably what's going to happen. And I'll have to bring out the list and we'll have to go over candidates and do all that thing all over again. But if they were to go, and I would have totally agreed with you if it were at the beginning of the year or at a place where it could have been salvageable. Because then maybe say they got rid of Bubba Ventrone and the work was still the same, but the results were different. Process was still the same, but the results were different. That means I'm wrong in what I'm thinking now. But now it's too late. So you can work as hard as you want, but you're 3-9. And if you guys want to work really that hard, and if I don't believe you were working hard before, and it's just something that I think that they are working hard. I just don't think the situation is a good situation. But if you ended up being right about that, then I would go, then what are you guys even here for in the beginning? Like, there's a lot of evaluation that needs to go on right now. What's right for everybody involved? What's right for Kevin? What's right for us? What's right? Is it simple as a clean slate needs to be had between the two? Like, these are things that go on. But your time to hold people accountable was back then. Now you're 3-9. All I'm doing is wasting my time and feeling like, yeah, it's going to make you guys feel better. It's not an argument for people to keep their jobs. I can't argue for them to keep their jobs. I've lost count of their records. Somebody corrected me and said they're 6-25 over the last couple of years. Jeez. Yeah, I forgot. That's even worse, guys. It's even worse. They're 6-25 over the last couple of years. I can't argue for 6-25 in professional football. Make no mistake, there is no defense I can really give. There is none. So, yeah, you would probably have to make a move. But I'm only going to feel good about it if I'm just a fan. I'm only going to feel good about it until tomorrow. Do I really think they have that much better of a chance to beat Tennessee? Maybe. And if they do, you'll just be 4-9.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. We have a team to compare them to. I mean, the Giants. Giants fired their coach this year. So technically they got a massive head start, if you believe in that kind of thing, on getting the next guy. But, that was hey, we're putting everybody on notice move when they have an exciting rookie quarterback, an exciting rookie running back that went down with an injury. And, Abdul Carter, I guess his pass rush win rate is really good this year, but, there's no production there and he's falling asleep in meetings. But so
he's denied that.
But they want accountability. So we'll have a team to compare it to. We'll see which team ends up getting it right.
What'd you think of Shedeur?
I thought honestly, the stuff I did want to give him credit for one thing, because there was a lot of conversation from the reporting and from the leaks and everything, from the interviews with him to why he felt, and then him being buried fourth string on the depth chart for as long as he was, that, oh my God, when he comes onto the field, it's going to be a mess. He is not going to get guys lined up. He's not going to get the play calls. He's not going to have a mastery of the play sheet. None of that has been true. You could make the argument that Jerry Jeudy, what did he get? He left too soon. I saw a lot of people say that's actually on the quarterback. You have to wait. You have to wait till he's set and then the quarterback. But whatever.
That's true.
But it is not. It is not in any way been anything close to that. Shedor's looked like any normal quarterback that has his bearings on all the small things. So the Browns might have been way off on that, well, unless you want to just give the Browns credit for getting him ready for that. But I think you give him the credit for that. As far as the play, I told you, I don't think it's looked all that different other than 3 total throws down the field. I don't really think it's looked all that different from the other bad quarterback play they've had this year. It's been a little different. Like, the way it's looked bad has been different for each guy. Like, Dylan Gabriel couldn't even throw the screen passes correctly. Joe Flacco, just for whatever reason, wasn't going down the field, which is what he had been known for, and then picked right up where he left off in Cincinnati from where he was 2 years ago in Cleveland, who was launching the ball down the field. It's been bad in different ways for all 3 quarterbacks. Shedeur, you could just tell. He doesn't know when to take off and run. There's no anticipatory throws. Basically, he has to almost leave the pocket and then guys be wide open. And that's just not sustainable. That's not real NFL quarterback play. With that said, I'd rather see him than Dylan Gabriel.
Okay, so I guess we are in agreement on some things. Like, he hasn't. My bar is obscenely comically low. I don't think he has much rapport with his wide receivers. I think that I do think an offseason and some time would do that. I just don't believe they all have time together. Because what I do believe is that when they probably do let go of Kevin Stefanski at the end of this year, I believe new people will come in and they will probably move on. And they will draft a quarterback in the first round next year. And we're going to have to get that settled and figured out, and we'll have 4 months to do so. And there's going to be a lot of people who are upset because I think they're going to move away from Shedeur Sanders. And so I hope that he gets this opportunity here over the next 5 games to change that opinion. But each week, I have to evaluate my thoughts on the future because I think there's a difference in how he plays every week to what I want to do with the future. And there's not much that I can go on and say he's changed my ideas for the future. I think that a lot of people, when they're saying, let's just do this, this, and this, I think they're just afraid to take a quarterback instead of they that much love Shedeur. Now, there are people who are Shedeur fans who love Shedeur that much, but most of those people just want him out of here. And I think those people are going to get their wish. But I think that a lot of the Browns fans are going to go, as of right now, if you really believe their plans need to be different, well, then I think we're probably just afraid to take a quarterback because we've heard bad things about the class, or really the class hasn't lived up to the hype of what we thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year. Well, you're going to have a chance to change that. And yes, you are walking through a minefield now more than ever. Based on quarterbacks, you're walking through a minefield. This is what a lot of teams have to deal with. There's a lot of shoddy quarterback play out there. There's a lot. And I really hope he would be able to prove that wrong. But not my goals, my plans are you go with the quarterback until the quarterback you have changes those plans. And so far, he hasn't been able to change those plans. It's only been 2 games. I got 5 to go. He may be able to do that. But so many people think Kevin Stefanski shouldn't be the head coach for him. So many people are confusing who's actually calling the plays right now. Tommy Rees is calling the plays. And to be honest with you, I like the game plan. Nobody helps each other. Shedeur Sanders doesn't have the experience to help younger or not so good wide receivers. The wide receivers who they do have aren't good enough or experienced enough. If they are experienced enough, they ain't good enough to help out my young and experienced quarterback. My offensive line is in tatters. I got Tevin Jenkins working in over at right guard. I got KT Levison over there at right tackle. We're hoping that Cam Robinson is healthy week to week to go play at left tackle. And I want to stand a guy who the big knock on him was standing and holding with the ball too long and not wanting to throw the ball, get rid of the ball quickly enough. And I'm going to have him do that behind that offensive line. None of it helps each other. So to just get rid of the head coach ain't going to help my situation very much at all. I thought that it was a pretty good game plan of what they came out with. They're just not built to play with a deficit. And what's so maddening is that your defense played well enough to keep you from playing with a real deficit. Your special teams was terrible. The execution on the 4.5 yard was an abomination of the sport. That's what's so upsetting.
Well, I would just say this. The one thing that I think has been common for all the Browns quarterbacks this year, the minute the Browns were losing in this game, I felt like they had no chance. I just felt like all the issues you just mentioned, not all on Shedeur. Trust me when I tell you, it was not all on Shedeur. I just had lost all faith completely because, on the other side, Brock Purdy, for all the struggles he had early in that game, and people are like showing their similar stats, degree of difficulty, not even close. Like Purdy, 11 of 16 on third down. They were converting big plays. He was heavily under duress. Shador was not under duress most of the game. I mean, he had the most time to throw in the NFL of all the quarterbacks last week, according to Next Gen Stats. So he had time to throw, and eventually even bad receivers get open in that situation. I just felt like Shedeur, he's just not anticipating, and he's kind of afraid. Does it seem to you like a little gun shy throwing that ball over the middle down the field? Like almost like some people said he doesn't want interceptions. I mean, no quarterback wants interceptions, but sometimes you got to throw the football. And I think everybody's clowning him on the fourth down where he just ran it instead of throwing the football on fourth and forever. But you would like to see him, take more chances, especially in this evaluation period. I don't care. I'm not killing him for interceptions the way that you would think I would. I'm just not. They got to evaluate these quarterbacks, and just throwing 30 screen passes a game.
I think
anybody can do that.
See, I think
Except
that they
Dylan
have.
Gabriel, apparently.
I think that they have beat it into him so much that you cannot turn the ball over. Do not turn the ball over. Do not turn the ball over. Because that's the thing. I mean, turnovers have murdered this team over the last couple of years. I think they've pounded into his head and Dylan Gabriel's head, for that matter. You cannot turn the ball over. If you turn the ball over, you're going to set us up for massive failure. And I think that plays into the game. I see a guy who is actively, and this is why I had a bad feeling about all this, but you want to see him because the season's gone to hell, is I see a guy who's actively getting better to get rid of bad habits, getting rid of the old things that he used to do. I just don't know if he's going to have enough time to get there, to where he needs to be and where this team needs to be. All right, let's get to you guys on this. Because it's all bad. I don't know where it starts. I don't know where it gets good. What's the good on Sunday? What happened that was good?
Schlesinger. He had a play. Okay. I'm telling you, the 49ers, you can always tell when a team has like a play that they've been saving, the Mark Andrews fourth down play against us. They probably didn't want to use that in the regular season. That was probably one you like to save for the playoffs, or maybe you show a different look. But the 49ers had a big-time play that they needed, and they did that shovel pass to Christian McCaffrey. And already on the ground, Schlesinger somehow made that stop. I'm like, that is all pro material. And they basically had him mirror McCaffrey the entire game, and McCaffrey was shaking his head the entire game. You could tell. It was tough sledding out there for McCaffrey with Schlesinger hovering. So that's a good. I'll say that's definitely good.
Okay, we got that.
Miles got another sack.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I'll tell you, Brock Purdy denied Miles another 2 sacks. He somehow off his back foot got rid of 2 balls with guys draped all over him, and Miles was feeling. You can even tell Miles gave him a look a couple times, like kind of like Miles seems like even when he's sacking you, he's having some fun with you.
Where's he at now? That's his 19th sack?
Correct.
Sorry, I was looking up the stats.
He had 25 written on his wrist on the tape. That is his goal, 25 sacks this year, which would be a record by a few.
I don't blame him for wanting his own personal glory there.
4 more to the record.
There was one bad, I thought.
What?
And I think he's been great.
Wait a minute, there's bad? We said we're naming the good.
No, well, maybe.
We're naming the good.
Okay, good. Tyson Campbell's been amazing since they took him. But the bad, they finally taught him one of those synchronized dance moves, him and Denzel and the rest of the guys in the secondary. And then after that, he got torched a couple times. So, went back to Newsome land there a little bit.
I didn't know about that. He was dancing?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he had a couple nice coverages, and then on the one, they did their breakout.
Well, you want him to be a part of the team, I guess. I don't know. All right, Larry in Twinsburg. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Larry.
Hey, I just like to say, there ain't no difference between Dylan or Shador. The team is poorly coached. Shador is not your future. If they keep him and Kevin, going to be another losing season for years to come.
Well, the only issue I could see of it, and NFL teams do this all the time, Larry, and thank you for the call. And I don't care for this because I feel if you're going to make a break, you make a clean break, and that's the way it goes. Is that they leave guys in. Now, you kind of had your year this last year, but you weren't taking a guy in the first round. But teams love to, and I think I know why, but I'm not fully sure about it. They love to keep a guy an extra year and then bring in a rookie. And they love to pair that rookie the first year, and then they fire that coach halfway there. The Browns did this with Hugh Jackson. They fire that coach halfway through the year, and then it's like, well, why did you waste that year? We just did that with Caleb Williams over in Chicago with Matt Eberflus and now with Ben Johnson. And I wonder if it's still to like, okay, you have a quarterback there. They just did it with Jackson Dart and with Brian Dable. You believe you have a quarterback there. At least if a guy can play at a high level in an NFL uniform, it makes the job that much more attractive. Like rookies still, guys who are in college right now, we still don't know Fernando Mendoza is going to be good in the NFL. We still don't know Dante Moore, Ty Simpson are going to be good in the NFL. Like that's the only other thought I would have. That when you start talking about the agents, but that goes down a crazy road altogether. Like that's the only other thought I would have to that. Because if you were to keep him and then let him make a decision based on the quarterback, I wouldn't feel any better. We had a call about that earlier. And I'm thinking, what's your level of trust? What's your level of trust with him? If you don't believe your level of trust is that high, then you've already made your decision for the future. And again, I still look back and I thought, this is my issue, is you have a guy who's actively trying to work out the problems of previous bad habits. And I think that the people who want to line up and say, let Shedeur cook, I don't think that those people know football whatsoever, and I don't think those people should have any say-so in anything that the Browns actually do. If I were to say, just let Shedeur cook, I don't think I should have any influence on anything the Browns should do. I thought the game plan coming out yesterday was a good game plan to help take care of him, work on his stuff, let him get things taken care of, and work forward with it. And I thought it was a good game plan. They just can't play from behind with that game plan. That's all there is to it. There's some things there that I like. But you can tell with how they do it that there is a project that they are seeing here. And I just don't think that he's going to have the time to be able to do all this because you only have 5 games after this. So now, where does my franchise go? We're back in Messiah land where we need a guy to lead us. And I don't know if they're going to have enough time. And I don't know if he even wants to do something like that. So you're in a real bad spot as the Cleveland Browns. So where do I go? That's why I keep telling people, like, guys, I know you can't stand the coach. And I know the other part of you guys think that we are just wasting our time talking about Shedeur Sanders, but they need each other in so many ways, at least for the next 5 games. Because if they were to get rid of everybody, and you think that just having him stand back there and shotgun with this group of collection of wide receivers or this group of targets with that offensive line,
but you know what I mean?
Against the NFL is going to do him any good. I got to vehemently disagree.
But what are you evaluating if it's just going to be screen game underneath? Teams will give that up. Like what? How are you evaluating him?
Still not much.
Whether or not you're doing something in the draft?
No, I'm not. See, he's got to do things that make me change. But my things that I need him to do, I don't know if he's going to have enough time. I just want to see him conduct an offense. I know he's got arm talent. I know that he has accuracy. I know he has those things. But if he can't conduct an offense, then what are we doing?
Now, there was one play down the field. He did take his shot where he did not have the accuracy. It was into the wind. It was a crazy side of the stadium.
Trent Green said, if you have any tail on that ball, it's going to take it. So Trent Green said, I'm going to agree with Trent Green.
Here is the actual call on the Browns Radio Network.
Quinshon is the back to the left of Shedeur. 3 receivers to the wide side right. Shotgun 3rd and 4. Got to get to the 37. Niners bring pressure. Browns pick it up. Has time. Throws deep. Has Judy, and he overthrew him at the Niners 40. 4th down.
Oh, baby. The Browns did such a good job picking the blitz up. Jerry Jeudy was in the middle of the field, saw the play break down, took up off the field. He had 5 yards clear of the closest defender for the Niners, Jair Brown, and just overshot him. That could have been 6.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Isaiah Bond play, where it just became a jump ball. That was the one early to Jerry Jeudy.
No, not the duck. Yeah, this was but still that same side of the field, right? So that, which was curious to me, why the 49ers won the toss and took the ball, right? Why didn't it didn't end up mattering because the game turned out to be a blowout in the 4th quarter? Why would we have wanted to go into that end in the 4th quarter? Why? That was weird. I don't know. Clearly there was a difference in the did the winds change during the game? Anyway, so that one was curious to me. I texted a few people and no one really had an answer. So, and it didn't end up mattering. But that was kind of annoying.
I'm surprised they didn't grow the grass longer to stop Christian McCaffrey. Where's you and Keith on that one?
Now, weather actually, it turned out it wasn't as much of a factor at the Michigan game as I thought it could be. And nor was it like in terms it didn't rain or snow yesterday for the Browns game.
It was a factor in Brutus doing the script.
The snow came late. Yeah, the snow came late. But I wanted to ask you, Ken.
What?
I see the Shedeur people have targeted now. They're on to Jerry Jeudy as the guy that's making things really hard for Shedeur. They thought he dogged it on that play. Did you want him to do a pirouette and then lay out backwards? Because the ball was on the other shoulder. Like, how are you laying out for that ball? I don't think people realize how off target that throw was.
It wasn't
and
a great throw.
And I didn't kill him for it because, again, the
wind.
wind.
You didn't, but I still think he's a pretty accurate quarterback, and I think he's got enough arm to do what he needs to do. I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel, which isn't really saying much. My whole issue of it, getting back to it, is that I don't know if there's going to be enough time. I don't think there's going to be enough time to really change anybody's plans for everybody involved. I mean, it's going to have to be gangbusters really quick, and I don't know if he's that guy that can just raise everybody to have a incredible offense in the amount of time that they needed. Again, there's so much there that's against him, and there's really so much against the Browns. And so you see them trying to work out situations, and if we're still trying to work out situations, we're not going forward. Well, then you start to figure out why some of the teams in the NFL are uncomfortable. 216-474-0092. Vincent, listening on the free Odyssey app in Virginia. You're next up on the Fan.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Basically, I don't think Shedeur's problem. It's not Shedeur Gabriel thing. It's the play calling. Anybody who thinks Kevin Stefanski is a good coach is delusional.
Well, Kevin wasn't calling plays yesterday. It was Tommy Rees.
Why did he say the Fanning call? He messed that up. Wait a minute.
Situational football, he can do it. But if we're talking about 1/4 and a half there.
But what I'm saying, we have the number 2 defense in the league. Why would you go 4th and 2 and 4th and inches on your 32 in a 10-8 game? Why would
you could have punted it. I wanted to go for it, but then when we got people running around and we're not prepared to do it, I might as well just punt it and punted it out of there.
It was a stupid call. And after that play, the game went to hell. Did it not?
Well, of course it did.
You had the 49ers score 3 touchdowns on 66 total yards in the game. 66 total yards.
I understand. I totally understand that. I'm with you on that. But where does the Shedeur factor play into that part of it?
Basically, the Browns limit all their quarterbacks. If you look at the best play the Browns had, yes, Shedeur missed Jerry Jeudy on the deep ball. I give you that. Mm-hmm. But the pass to Fanning when he scored the touchdown, if you look at the play, Jeudy was on the outside. He went across the field to take 2 defenders with him. Fanning swung around on a wheel play and was wide open.
So that was a play call you did like?
I love that play. And that's the kind of stuff you should be doing. You should not be screaming.
So we should just run the plays that work and not run the plays that don't work?
Well, the running game was great, I thought. The passing game is horrible. Plus, you got to realize you have a offensive line that's probably one of the worst offensive lines blocking in the league. So quick slants, some screens, not all screens, some deep passes. And then I'm tired of us playing like we're playing for the division. We're 3-8. We're not going nowhere. Let the players play.
That's why they were rotating Wyatt Teller out of there.
Oh, God.
And that's the other thing. Why are you going to get Wyatt your three best linemen, Coughlin, Batonio, and Wild, and Teller, you like switching them like they're rookies. He's a poor coach. The team is just going nowhere. And Jerry Jeudy, get rid of that brat. He's an overpaid $40 million guaranteed brat.
Well, that's an Andrew Berry situation.
Well, he wouldn't be a third-tier receiver. That's what all he would be on teams. Go back and look at the Steve Smith account of who he thinks Jerry Jeudy is back on the NFL Network. That's Jerry Jeudy. Somebody needs to give him that Michael Jackson Man in the Mirror song, and he needs to look in the man in the mirror. He is the problem. He's a cancer on this team. You can't get rid of him because he got a $40 million guaranteed contract.
Vincent, is it bad? 1 year. Is it bad that I got so much brain fog right now? You said the man in the mirror, and I was thinking of Rockwell. Someone's following me.
No,
someone's watching me.
No, Michael Jackson.
I know, but I got him confused. I somehow got Rockwell and Michael. Well, I think Rockwell was trying to sound like Michael Jackson in so many ways.
I was thinking of Me, Myself, and I, De La Soul.
Vincent, thank you for the call. Thank you for the call.
It was Michael Jackson.
He's saying
uncredited.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We can talk about that in the break.
We should talk about that in the break. I got to get that figured out before we come back.
Since we can't play actual music anymore.
No, we can't.
I'll hum a few bars.